It's the time to get down.
There would be a Christian thing in the black community, would there?
You're wrong.
You know how you what? You know how you Christians are. They'll say, "Hail Jesus," and put a bullet in you in a minute, hang you up, and swing you, and then go pray. Okay? They want to talk about Muslims. I'm sorry, I grew up in the United States of America. We didn't have much contact with the Muslims growing up, but I had a hell lot of contact with Christians, and they was whipping much ass. Okay?
It was
Killing
spread
and cutting.
Spread
and
it out a little bit.
Give me a break. And they try to say, well, Muslims are violent. Since when?
But you know what?
I'm a black man. Y'all dumped how many, 40 million of us in the ocean?
Well, you know what? What you have to do, and what you're saying is so
Shit,
right, Mario.
That's violent.
The issue is going to be how current are folks about history.
Well, see, that's what I'm
if you
saying.
have no relative history,
No.
they're not going to follow.
That's the joint. Everybody wants, let's not go to the past. Because they want to set up the argument. Without the past, there is no discussion of current. How can you discuss what exists today without acknowledging the past? That's the asshole argument. So when they bring that one up, they're trying to, you can't discuss it if there is no past.
Right. The whole
I tell you what, let me
thing
put a
about
bullet in your head, and then 2 minutes later I say, let's not talk about the past.
Well, you know what they do,
you
Mario.
gone.
You know what they do. Look, it's like
let's
moving,
not talk about it.
It's like being proactive. When people say being proactive is it's move forward and let's not look at yesterday. And so it's called the hypocritical oath under, if I have a foggy little past, then I don't want to go back to that if it's relative to something that I support currently, and I don't want to have that compared to what's going on now. So that's a different subject.
That's right.
That's what they're
It's
doing.
called convenience.
Yeah, I know, man. That's
you
okay.
know, because we all want to point fingers, and we don't do it. All right. Well, as part of that, we did mention the story that Anne Rice, Anne Rice, who's famous now for her interview with a vampire. And these were big sellers long before the whole Twilight phenomenon. Vampires have now spread forward. Now it's a teen female thing.
Right.
Can't wait to be bit. Can't wait to be bit.
So you're looking forward to this one?
I'm old now, so I'm out of this. But I'm just saying,
it's not about age, man.
Well, Anne Rice, here she goes. She's been watching the Twilight stuff, and she's been paying attention. And she says that she's quit being a Christian, but she's still hanging on to Christ. She says she just fed up with Christ's followers.
Okay.
She says she's still down with Christ.
Right.
She's just tired of all the Christ followers. All right.
Now be careful now.
Here's what she says. She goes on to say that I'm quoting. This is Anne Rice, author of Interview for Vampire, and here's her quote. She says, "I refuse to be anti-gay. I refuse to be anti-feminist. I refuse to be anti-artificial birth control. I refuse to be anti-democrat. I refuse to be anti-secular humanism. I refuse to be anti-science. I refuse to be anti-life. In the name of Christ, I quit Christianity and being Christian. Amen." All right, y'all can write in and talk about that. Well, because of what's going on. I tell you, controversy. Now, here's the other one, you guys. This is not a controversy. It turns out that a number of states are now passing legislation to ban texting while driving. And the biggest culprits, they say. Now, minor fact, I just want you to weigh in on this. They say it's teens. First of all, now it may be biased.
Right.
Because I wonder how many adults text. They say in 9 and 10, 90% of teenagers are texting while driving.
Right.
Wow. 90%. 90. Wow. Now, I bet you if you were to do adults, it's 85%. Because every time I'm out looking around people texting, they look grown to me. and they are texting.
How do you feel about being...
I honk my horn like my hand is glued to that horn.
No, how do you feel when you're in the passenger side and somebody's texting while they're driving? What do you do?
I want to reach across and, you know what? I don't even like people who talk to me while they driving. You know how people you be driving with some people, they turn, hey, and you looking at them, watch the road.
What was that word you was about to say?
Watch the forgetful road.
That's right. Be careful
Watch
now.
the forgetful road.
Okay.
I say, watch the road.
Okay. So you point out when they're distracted from the frontal
Man,
view.
I do. I don't even like riding around with a lot of people, the way they drive.
Okay.
Some people drive so bad.
All right, man.
I got a girlfriend, ex-girlfriend. I call her, she's a friend who's a girl. But she's also an ex-girlfriend about 20 years ago. But I love her. She never has quite gotten down the whole concept of right of way.
Oh,
so when she comes comes to an intersection like stop signs, she has no concept of who's actually supposed to go first.
I know what you're saying, man.
So they say the one on the right goes first. She has no concept.
How did she pass the test?
I don't know because man, she just goes. It's like she changes lanes in the middle of the intersection. She
Right.
does all kind of crazy stuff, and she says, "Well, she had to teach herself to drive, so she doesn't know a lot of those rules. Like she doesn't know that when she makes a left-hand turn, she goes in whatever lane she wants to. She doesn't turn into the lane that's furthest to the left. She just goes wherever."
How did she get her license?
Here in California, and she's not. And
What-
she's,
what
and
are you
she's not
saying?
even a legal alien.
Wait a minute. Are
She's
you
a legal African American.
Are you saying right now that this woman passed a driver's test without those considerations?
Hell
that happen?
yeah.
How did that happen?
Man, it happens all the time. I heard of people bribing the people at the DMV to fail their children. There you go. They go like, "Don't let them pass it.
Yeah,
I
just go
cannot
to,
afford this insurance, man, and I don't want to hear it.
Don't.
They got to fail."
That's right.
I've heard that you can go to the DMV
right,
and slip them 50,
right.
and they will fail your child.
That's right.
They will fail your child's driving test. You be see parents up there all the time weaking. Do your best, little Billy.
Yeah.
I know you can do this.
That's wrong, man.
Go. Oh, you didn't pass.
That's wrong.
Next year. But mommy, can I take the test in 3? No, Billy, let's wait a year. Let's go have ice cream. Yeah. So if your parents use that one on you, look that guy in the DMV. Just look at him sideways and wonder, did your parents pay them
Right.
to fail you at the DMV?
I don't know, man. I mean, would you go that far if you know that your
Hell
child?
yeah.
You would.
Hell yeah.
You sure?
I would. I'd fake bankruptcy. We too broke. We may still have the house and the pool,
yeah.
but we can't afford cars.
That's not a good
We
thing.
can't. You must bicycle, child.
That's
You
right.
must.
All right.
All right.
I got you.
Well, then the one other piece that we want to talk about, you guys, it involves the Dead Sea Scrolls. When people say, "What are the Dead Sea Scrolls?" Wait, that's the kind of show this is. Eclectic, educational. Well, the Dead Sea Scrolls are some documents that were found in the hills
Right.
outside Israel, in Qumran actually, that actually predate the Bible and contains many references to the religious text. And by this finding was was probably the most major religious artifact finding ever. And it definitely differs, as the scholars say, from the Christianity that you know. That's what's kind of interesting about the controversy about the Dead
Okay.
Sea Scrolls. Okay, but as it turns out, there's new clues coming out about the Dead Sea Scrolls, who are said to have been written by the Essenes, who many people believe were the special sect of Jews who prepared for the birth of Jesus Christ. That's where this comes in. This is a cross-section between your religion and archaeology. Okay, but the Dead Sea Scrolls are out there. And part of the controversy is who wrote the Dead Sea Scrolls, because the Essenes are very much not, a group that's not very well understood. Some of the things they talk about is that they are a group where women may have been rabbis. There's a lot of literature. By the way, those of you who are conspiracy people, this is the group so much referenced by Edgar Cayce. Edgar Cayce being America's famous psychic who died in 1935. He's the one who predicted all this California earthquake destruction, the sinking into the ocean and all that. Well, he also had a number of other predictions involving health. He's considered the father of holistic medicine. But he also, Edgar Cayce, who died in 1935, made numerous references in his materials to the Dead Sea Scrolls that were found years later after his death. Hence part of the controversy of revolving both around Edgar Cayce and the Dead Sea Scrolls. I just wanted to say, y'all can go find this right now. Go look up Edgar Cayce. Go look up Dead Sea Scrolls. Find out this wonderful controversy, because these scrolls, which were written on parchment, were spread around the world so that people could examine them and attempt to translate them. And a bunch of them are still controlled by the Israeli Antiquity Authority, I think they're called. But a bunch of the scrolls. So anyway, there's a bunch.